Certain decision.
A certain decision? What's that mean?
It is the decision. The certain decision is when you have made up your mind and you stay in that decision.
Not wavering no more.
Not wavering anymore. It's about execution. We're going to talk about it this morning, but we're going to be back in a moment. Happy Thursday.
Oh, you should have told me you was live. I was about to say something.
Glad you.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday. Good morning, Julie Ray. That was an awesome photo shoot that you took.
What?
Good morning,
I gotta see that.
Happy birthday.
Did you say that Julie Ray did a photo shoot?
Yes, she did a photo shoot. I thought it was really cute.
And today is Melissa Price's birthday. And we're going to definitely sing. We're going to sing her song at 9:10.
Okay. We're going to sing her song at 9:10 so everybody can be there.
Yeah,
hey,
enough.
Dr. Deborah.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I have been really studying.
Me too. Go ahead.
And getting it in. Absolutely. And this morning, we do have a topic. We have been taking a journey this week into the 7 decisions. And the 7 decisions is the 7 decision for success that is extrapolated from The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews.
The book, The Traveler's Gift. Mm-hmm.
The book is it's an awesome journey through understanding how these 7 decisions will affect your life.
Yep. And
I absolutely love it. The main character in the book is David Ponder, but you could think of David Ponder as any man. And I'm telling you, we've had the first few gifts. So do you remember the first 3?
No.
So the first decision.
The reason why I'm not remembering the first 3 is because me and Albert Einstein have so much in common. Someone once asked Albert Einstein his home telephone number. And he went and got the phone book. And the person said, "You're supposed to be a genius. You can't remember your own phone number?" And Einstein said, "Why would I memorize something I can easily look up?" Boom. Einstein-like.
So the first decision is the responsible decision. The buck stops here. The responsible decision. I am taking responsibility for everything that has gone on in my life up until this point, and I am taking the responsibility on how I decide I am going to move forward. The responsible decision. The buck stops here. The second decision is the wisdom decision, the guided decision. I thought you were going to jump in. The guided decision. I will seek wisdom. I will seek wisdom. We had a lot of fun with that one. There was a lot of wisdom on the panel that day. Number three is the active decision. Now, what's interesting, we'll talk about it after I give you number 4. The active decision is I am a person of action. And I actually personally think that the active decision should have gone before the certain decision.
Okay.
And the certain decision is I have a decided heart.
What's that? Step 4?
Number 4 is
a certain decision.
A certain
The
decision.
certain decision.
The certain decision. I have a decided heart. Now, the reason why I thought that should go first is because the decided heart is about not vacillating. It's about not being double-minded.
That's that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean that you can't make another decision.
But now,
this is the decision.
Yes.
While this is the decision, we are going to operate under this decision.
Melissa asked me, because it's her birthday, she wanted a special story. So I was sitting here thinking about a special story, and I came up with one, Melissa, from my past, a special story for you and your birthday. And whenever you're ready for your story, just say, I'm ready for my story, Brian. Excuse me for distracting you.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to read some of the decided heart, if I may.
Okay.
So in the decided heart, the 7 decisions for success is a wise man once said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Knowing this to be true, I am taking my first step today. For too long, my feet have been tentative, shuffling left and right, more backward than forward as my heart gauged the direction of the wind. Criticism, condemnation, and complaint are creatures of the wind. They come and go on the wasted breath of lesser beings that have no power over me. The power to control direction belongs to me. Today, I will begin to exercise that power. My course has been charted. My destiny is assured. Melissa says, I have a special story request for later on, too. One of my favorites, and it's not the frog one this time, but I'm ready when you are, Pawpaw.
Okay.
He goes on to say, I will lay my head on my pillow at night, happily exhausted, knowing that I have done everything within my power to move the mountain in my path. As I sleep, the same dream that dominates my waking hours will be with me in the dark. Yes, I have a dream. It is a great dream. I will never apologize for it. Neither will I ever let it go.
That's a right now message. What she's read so far, that's what's going on in my home right now, in my particular world and in Lisa's world and in our world together. We have a made up mind about what we're doing. We go to bed satisfied with the efforts that we made that day, even though there may be mountains in our way sometimes or valleys in our way. We have our minds made up as to what we do, and we're going forward. You know, the option of trying it out is long since past. The option of quitting it and going and doing something else doesn't even come up anymore. It's not even an option anymore. You know what, baby? You should quit your business, and go get a job at Sears.
I have a decided heart.
That's right. You have a decided heart. No, and I really believe the decided heart can't be shook by someone else's opinion. The decided heart. I'm ready to tell Melissa's story if you're ready to hear it.
Go ahead.
Melissa, this is a story I've told in church a few times. And this one is not a long story, but I think it's a good story. This is a story about this 9-year-old girl. She got a reputation in her small farm town. I mean, this is an old English with like where they have the elders in the church, or like the largest ones. I mean, the most important people, the elders in the church. And in her town, she was a peasant girl, but she got a reputation for being able to talk to God, and God talks to her and give her answers. So people would come to her and say, would you ask God this for me? And she would go to God and ask God their question, and she'd come back and give them the answer. And the elders of the community heard about that, and they summoned the girl in, like, how dare she get a reputation for talking to God? They should come to us for that. So they asked her, they said, young lady, do you talk to God and he gives you answers? And she says, yes, I do. So really? Yes, I do. She goes, okay. Now, one of the elders says, okay, I want you to talk to God for me. When I was a young man, there was a sin that I committed. You know, I was very ashamed about that sin, but I committed this sin as a young man. Now, since then, I have repented and I've not done that sin anymore. But I did have a particular sin that I committed as a young man. I want you to ask God to tell you what was the sin that I committed then. And she goes and she comes back the next day. They said, did you talk to God? He goes, yes, I did. She says, yes, I did. Did you ask him what was my sin that I've repented for? She goes, yes, I did ask him. Okay, what did he say? He said he forgot. He forgot. That thing that we want to be forgiven for, that we've asked God to forgive us for, he does forgive us for that thing. And he doesn't throw it back up in our face. That's what the answer was. He forgot. I hope you enjoyed that story, Melissa.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. A decided heart. A decided heart. What have you made up in your mind that you are going to do, be, or have? Good morning, Miss Phyllis. What have you decided is true for you?
This is like the second or third time this week where the word decision has been most prevalent. But the root word, the Latin word decidere, means cutting off. It's so important. I love it. See, I have got my mind made up. Come on, girl. You can get it. Get it, girl. See, anytime. And tonight is fine. Why are you shaking your head, baby? I got my mind made up. Come on. You can get it. Get it, girl. Anytime. Dr. Deborah liked that story. She goes, that was a great story. Thank you. Melissa Price says, good story, Paw Paw. And no one can call me Paw Paw like Melissa can call me Paw Paw. Now, that's what my grandkids call me, and I don't mind. Unless she's trying to say I'm like her grandpa. Anyway. Now, tell the one when you were trying to play basketball and had your running with the trash. Nah, man, that wasn't. See, you got two stories mixed up. I wasn't trying to play basketball when I wrecked in the trash can. I was trying to show off in front of my kids.
So tell the story.
Okay. Now, I had a blended family, okay, my second marriage. She had two girls when I met her, and I had two children from my previous marriage. And every other weekend, my two children would come over to the house, and we had a really, really nice camaraderie blended family. And on the weekends, especially on the weekends when I had all the kids, okay, when it was four of them, we would go to city parks. We like to go to city parks. Now, my son at the time, Daz, he's the oldest boy. He was probably 14 or 15, really, really athletic. He still is. And as we were going through the park and in the playground area, they had these large metal trash cans there. And Daz was taking a run and leaping over the metal trash cans. Now, growing up, I was legendary for how high I could jump. I mean, even at age 11, I could touch high up on the net and barely graze the backboard. When I was a short little kid, I could leap. I could run and jump. You know, they even called me Superman for a season because Brian could get off the ground. I had springs as a young man, and I knew that I had springs. So I'm watching my son run and jump, and I'm like, man, why you got to take such a run? Now, we're in the playground area at this point, okay? So, well, you do it, Dad. Now, mind you, I had on jeans and like hiking shoes. So I started to stretch right there in front of the trash. Trash can was like right at my belly. Okay. Surely I can jump over a trash can that's at my belly. And there was a large round metal trash can. Surely, in my mind, surely. Now, it seemed like all the dads and moms and kids decided to stop what they were doing and watch me. And there was two men over there, dads, obviously. One of the men said to me, he said it loud enough for everybody to park, you ain't got to prove nothing to those kids.
He was trying to say it right. He was trying to help you out.
He said, you ain't got to prove nothing to those kids. Because he saw what I was doing. I was about to jump over this thing just to show my son that Dad could do it.
So what were you, about 30-something?
Probably.
32,
probably 32, something like that. I wasn't heavy like I am now. My body was still fit. Okay. That's pre, or maybe Eli was young. Okay. So I was still in pretty good shape. I was still playing ball. So I knew I could do it. Okay. Now, what happened was
What had happened?
everything stopped. All the noise stopped. Everything. Everybody was watching me prepare to jump. So I kind of squatted a couple of times. So I squatted, gathered myself, and leapt up over. And I made it over the first lip of the trash can. And I was coming down, and the heel of my shoe caught the trash can. And then the trash can flipped. But it flipped in such a way that my shin scraped along the outside lip of it. And the trash can fell over, and I fell over, and trash flew everywhere, and everybody fell out laughing. Whoa! Now I got hurt. It hurt me so bad I couldn't even scream out. So I struggled to my feet. Now my kids thought that was the funniest thing they ever seen in their life. Okay. Oh. So I struggled to my feet, and I struggled over to the bench, and I laid down. I sat on the bench, and I didn't even want to lift up my jeans because I know my sock was bloody at this point, and it was. Okay. And I was so injured, and we were planning to go see my mother afterwards. I didn't even touch my leg. And when we made it to my mother's house is when I finally was willing to roll up my pants leg. And sure enough, I had a bloody sock because I injured myself. The moral of the story is, grown people, you ain't got to prove nothing to those kids.
Hey, man. Hey, Dr. Beverly.
I do blame my jeans, and I blame the shoes I had on.
Dr. Deborah Amen. She says, I have decided that I am no longer a full-time employee. No matter what the DC Department of Unemployment says, they're not scaring me or bullying me into turning back. I have a made-up mind.
That's a beautiful thing to say.
C-U-E.
Be careful, Dr. Deborah, because you're going to get tried now. Because you said this publicly. Somebody's going to throw a job at you. How many times did that happen? In my life, it's happened several times. But somebody's going to throw a job at you, and it's going to be tempting. It's going to be more money than you made before, a little bit. Okay, but you're going to be on their payroll. So be careful. Brace yourself. I believe you, though. Okay, I believe you. Mr. Price says he blames the jeans. Yeah. So, but that's the last time I ever felt even an urge to try to prove athleticism to those kids.
I guess so.
Did you ever try to prove something to those kids?
No, I did not. Whew.
I am excited about a lot of things today. I like our journey through the 7 decisions. A made up heart. Do you have a made up heart? Lisa just mentioned the CUE. Lisa Santiago McNeill, CUE. Brian K. McNeill, CUE. CUE is a designation, an official designation, and it stands for certifiably unemployable. I can't work a job again, ever. I'm certifiably unemployable. I can't even imagine the concept. Oh my gosh, the last time I really got shook by that, you were there. Lisa and I went to a wine. Was it the wine place or the restaurant next to it?
It was the restaurant next to it that we went to. Boardwalk Billy's.
Boardwalk Billy's. We're sitting outside, and the table, was it at our table or the next table? No, they had to sit with us.
Our table.
Yeah, they had to sit with us because the tables were all full, but we were at a table that had 5 chairs, a round table that had 5 chairs, and Lisa and I only took up 2 to the other 3 people. No, it had 6 chairs because it was 4 of them. It was 4 of them, and they all happened to be psychologists, and they worked for a psychology office.
Absolutely. Okay. Black psychologists,
and they worked for a psychologist's office. I mean, they were degreed in and they were having a conversation about work. At least now we were cool, welcome to the table, they were talking about work, and they were saying things like, and I told my supervisor this, and I told my and I put in for days off. And she told me I couldn't have days off this time, so I had to find another day to have off. And they were talking about putting in for time off and, and hoping that they'll get approved and all this kind of stuff. And my supervisor this and my supervisor that. And it was just so foreign to us, wasn't it? We were like, oh my gosh. Now, I'm not begrudging them of their work.
No, not at all.
At all. But it's been so long since I've lived like that it seems foreign to me.
Beverly says that since she quit the job that I wanted since I quit, the job that I wanted offered me twice the money, and doggone it, I almost went for it.
Well, if you did go for it, why would it be bad? Why would it be bad if you went for it? You get twice the money, right? You know?
First of all, just to clarify, you get to choose what works best for you and your situation in that time frame. Understand that a decided heart does not waver, but it does take into consideration all of the information that is being presented to it.
I can remember one time, twice actually, but one in particular, I was out on my own. I was doing my thing. The company was called Rhino Sales and Seminars. And this company wanted me to be their trainer. And I said adamantly, no, I don't want to do it. It says, no, Brian, we need you to do it. Come on, you can do it. You already know so much about the company. No, man, I didn't want it. They kept coming at me. And I really didn't want the job. But the money, they kept upping it and they kept throwing money at me. And I decided to take the job. And it was the worst decision for me. It was the worst decision for me. I wasn't a good employee for them. I didn't like any day that I was there, every day that I had to go into the office and make my stomach churn. It was the worst experience, even though they gave me more money. And I regretted taking the job. I felt pressured to take the job. Like, it's so secure, Brian. You don't have to do that much and da-da-da. It was the worst experience for me. Going back and taking a job I knew I didn't want.
So for the decided heart, I want to go back to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you would tell the story, since today it's Melissa's birthday, Go ahead and pull out even more stories if I can. So tell the story of Burn Your Boats.
Sure. And this is actually a real story. Actually, we kind of paraphrased it earlier in this week. We talked about crossing the Rubicon. Okay. Caesar wanted to take a land. Okay. Actually, this is not Caesar. This is Alexander, I think. But anyway, I'm going to get to the point. They were going into a battle. They decided to go and try to possess this land. And they knew their enemy outnumbered them. But I think it was Alexander. But his soldiers were good soldiers. But they knew that their enemy that they were about to face outnumbered them. So when they got to the place where they parked their boats and they got on the little boats, they left people on there. They said, douse all of our boats in kerosene. Douse them all in kerosene and set it on fire and come on ashore. Now, they doused their boats in kerosene and set it on fire, and the men stood there on the beach watching their boats burn. And he let them watch them burn. He said, you see that, men? That was our only way of escape. We either win now or we die. When you burn your boats, when you cut off any means of escape, and you put yourself in the win or die mode, very often you win. That's what happened.
Absolutely. And it gives the situation that there's no way back. So all you can do is go forward.
It happens a lot. It happens daily. Even with our children. You know, you hear the stories, you've seen it happen when the child knows going back home is not an option. They win or they die. Okay, but most of the time they'll win. Or when you can't retreat. I think that's just amazing. I think that gives you strength. That's actually when that happens. We're going to win right now or we're going to die because we're about to get into a battle. We're about to get into a battle.
And so what are you doing to pull out all the stops? What extra effort do you have that you could execute right now if there were no turning back?
There's another book called Working Without a Net. I mean, is it walking the tightrope without a net or working without a net? Okay, tightrope walkers. You've seen tightrope walkers. It's an amazing skill, right? They hold the pole and they're walking on that tightrope. And sometimes they have a net beneath them, which just in case they fall, they got that safety net there. And that's great for the tightrope walker, but it's just not as exciting for the viewer.
That's right, Beverly. I won't go back. I can't go back to the way
I used to be. For your blessings came and saved me. I think that's what it says.
Amen.
Yeah.
That was Dr. Beverly and her singing voice. That was my singing voice. But
I won't go back. I can't go back to the way we used to be. For your love came and saved me.
we know that being able to move forward, sometimes the creativity, the resiliency, sometimes those things are trapped inside of there's no more back. There's no more.
Here's another cool thing that happens when you stay dogged and determined, even if it's not happening right away. You get this overriding feeling in your belly, and I've had it many times, and you probably have had it too, where you feel like you're on the verge of a breakthrough. That feeling, you know that feeling, baby? I'm on the verge of something happening here. I saw a meme one time. They didn't call it a meme back then. It was called a cartoon back in the newspaper. And this guy is a caveman whittling on a stone. And three sides of the stone are round, and there's still one corner there. And he's like whittling on that corner where there's still a straight line there. And the caption is, you ever feel like you're on the verge of an incredible breakthrough? Man, if he finished whittling that stone just like the others and then create that wheel, whoo, I always remember that picture. You ever feel like you're on the verge? Far Side. I think it was Far Side, actually.
It was Far Side.
You ever feel like you're on the verge of an incredible breakthrough? And you only get that feeling when you're working towards your thing.
Absolutely. We're going to continue to move through these 7 decisions. I have found them to be very, very useful. There are 7 principles, 7 decisions, 7 principles. And here's the thing that we often overlook. Just like ignorance of the law is not an excuse to break it, ignorance of a principle is not an excuse that it does not apply to you.
That's right. You don't even have to like it.
Y'all walking around ignoring gravity all you want. It still has this impact on you.
That's right.
Every one of these principles can and will impact your life. Whether you use it for you or against yourself is entirely up to you. Happy birthday, Melissa.
Yes, today's Melissa's birthday. We passed the time. So we're going to go ahead and sing it now. We're going to sing our version. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Let's give Melissa some flowers now.
Hey, Melissa.
Melissa has been with the show 5 years, basically. Essentially, she's been with the show for 5 years, consistent.
Absolutely.
Contributor. We even gave her a nickname as the head usher.
Absolutely.
Because she adopted a job of inviting people to the room. Melissa, we thank you.
Absolutely. And she's a published author of Lessons and Legacies through Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia. I believe her book was book number 75. And I am just excited.
We got a chance to know her and her family, her children's, her daughters are entrepreneurial.
Sophie are entrepreneurial. Her husband is
the teas and totes.
That's right.
We met her husband. We've been to her home. We shared drinks with her. She's been to our a few of our author showcases. She's been to a few of those.
She's been to church with us.
She's been to church with us to watch Lisa preach. She came to church with us when Dr. Deborah preached, I believe, as well.
Yes. And Melissa, I know that you were feeling a little bit under the weather on yesterday, but I hope that you are feeling better. Dr. Deborah says research has shown that when people have not only the will to live, but a strong reason to live, they do better in cancer treatment. For example, no one will take care of my kids, or who will take care of my ailing parents, etc. That it does have an impact on
when you have something to live for. You do. Two stories came to mind real quick. First is from the classic book. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. It's called Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl, and it's about his experience in the concentration camps in Auschwitz and Dachau. He was a Jewish doctor. But he was Jewish, and he got captured by the Germans and put in the concentration camps. And what he learned basically was the people that had something to look forward to were able to endure longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a family member they wanted to get back to, a child, a woman, a wife, or whatever, or something that they wanted. People that didn't have something strong and compelling, they succumbed early.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always told you that I believe that that's one of the key contributors to my grandfather's passing. I was going to say at a young age of 96, but I mean, not really young, but still, he has so much to live for up until 95. You know, he has so much to live for. He had a job, he had his patients, he has so much that was important to him, that when they told him at 95 that, you know, this was it, brother, we've appreciated all that you did and we appreciate everything you've done for everybody, but we're going to have to send you home.
Yeah.
That year he began to deteriorate.
And it happens so often. But the other story that came to my mind when it comes about something to look forward to was on the Today Show, there used to be a guy named Willard Scott. Do you guys remember Willard Scott?
Yes.
The big old rotund, fun guy, portly, fun guy. But he used to do a segment. I'm talking to people over 100 in America. And he would go to their house and everything and have them he'll tell America their secrets to long life.
Yes. Hey, Rochelle.
What's up, Ro? And he went to this one man's house, like 102 years old. And Willard Scott, oh no, congratulations, you're 102 years old. Please tell us the secrets to your long life. And the man was interested. He said, look at these beautiful flowers and plants I have here, as he was spraying them with a spray bottle. And they were beautiful plants and they were beautiful flowers. But he was showing Willard Scott the flowers. And he was like, I call this one this name. And Willard was like, yes, they are beautiful. Yes. Because he was thinking thousands of dollars per minute are being wasted. And we wanted the secrets to your success. And this guy just kept going in on his plants. And Willard asked him a few times. And finally he said, Mr. Scott, if I wasn't here, who would take care of my plants? And Willard missed the message, okay? But some people still got it. He was around because he wanted to take care of his plants.
Because he needed to take care of his plants.
Maybe that's closer.
He needed to take care of his plants. He had been assigned in his own heart and his own mind that he was responsible for the care of these plants, his growth and nurture. And because of that, every day he set about bringing that to pass. We had one of the elders, I believe he was a deacon by the time he passed, at Mission Church of the Lord Jesus Christ. He was also very, very enamored with his garden. And it was his job. And he was an elder. He had lived for many, many years. And that's between gardening and fishing. That was his job, and he took it very, very seriously. And he was a spry old man too,
because he had a garden. You know, gardening. There's so many different stories. It almost feels like you're supposed to have a garden at some point in your life. It just feels like it. But this classic story about Faust and the devil. Faust, Faust makes a deal with the devil. The devil is a devil is trying to make a deal with Faust. It's trying to get Faust's soul, and he's tempting Faust with sexual love, money, all that kind of stuff. And Faust was like trying stuff out, but to give him happiness, he wanted something that would give him happiness all the time. Okay, is what he was trying to get to. And the devil kept tempting him. And I'm not telling the story very well, but what actually ended up happening, he actually did find the thing that would make him happy for the rest of his life. And that thing was some swampland that he was able to convert into a garden or a farm kind of thing, and take care of that swampland, convert it into a farm or garden. Mm-hmm. That gave him happiness for the rest of his life, taking care of that field.
Caring for something is definitely...
That's why we're getting a dog.
We're not getting a dog. Brian had a cat for years before we got together. He got the cat because he felt that he needed something to care for.
I was living alone, home alone, so I got my cat Archie. Me and Archie was the biggest cat at the not kennel, the place where you go to adopt a pet. I wanted a large cat, and I wanted an adult because I didn't want to train a kitten. I wanted a cat that was familiar with how to work her way around the house. Archie was big and athletic, huge. I'll tell you, even the first day taking Archie home was a trip because Archie was strong. Mm-hmm. They give you this big old cardboard box. okay, that you can't, the cat can't get out of it, right? But it's got
supposed to not. Yeah,
but it's got holes all the way around
home it. Kittens.
Okay, whatever. They put Archie in that cardboard box.
And he was the Hulk.
And I had Archie in the back seat, and I'm taking him home. I'm going home, and Archie's not having it. So he's like, poof, poof, and he grabs like one of the holes, and he like pulls it, and he realized he can get a little hole. Pull that hole with his nails. So he started scratching at that hole, and by the time I got to the house, Archie is busting out of the daggone box. I'm like, God dang, man. I'm having to hold him in the box as I opened the door with the key. And by the time I just sat it on the floor, and Archie broke through.
He was persistent. He was persistent. Dr. Deborah says sometimes a person can have a made up mind to transition out of their earthly body because they really feel that they've done the things that they wanted to, and they can bring it to pass. Yes. Not in a sad way, but in a I'm going home way. Absolutely.
Yes. We've seen those.
We've seen that. My grandmother did a similar thing with my great-great-grandmother's passing. What happened was she was 103, 104, I believe. And I was still living in New York and was just about to leave. And I hadn't seen her in a while because they had moved her from the senior home, and I didn't know where to find her. And then I found her, and she was in hospice care, but I didn't know how to find her. So I found her there. She saw me. She made sure that I was okay. And not shortly after, she released herself from this body and made her heavenly body her home. And I think a lot of that, the time that she was holding on, was to see that I was okay, that I could deal with things on my own.
The last 11 years of my father's life, I didn't see him in person. The last 11 years that he was on this planet, I didn't see him in person. I would hear from him occasionally on the phone. My dad, really needed to borrow money or something like that. He never saw any of my children ever. And when he got cancer of the throat and was sick in the hospital up in New York, I was living here in the South by that time. And they told me he was sick, but no one told me how sick. They said, Dad, I was like, Brian, your dad's sick in New York, and I might want to go check him out. And they were so casual about it because he had been sick before, but he'd always recovered. But no one told me how sick he was, and apparently he was very, very sick. And then when he passed away, I was shook because if I had known how sick he was, I would have made my way to New York to go see him, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's difficult. I do. I'm mindful of that with my mom. My mom is very vibrant, very young, but she's still my mom, which means that she's old enough to be my mom, right? So,
yes, that's true.
So I am conscientious of speaking to her, caring for her, and sending her love and even going to see her when I can. I think it's really important. When we have love for one another, it's important to show that love. It's important to show that love.
It's 9:37. We want to thank you guys for coming here, and thank you guys for consistently contributing. Chef Rev says, my aunt had a shot of
scotch every day.
Is that
6
scotch?
p.m.
Is that what he said? Okay.
And lived to be 97, but she also went to bed at 7:30 and got up at 6 a.m. every day to go care for people half her age when those persons transition. You know the rest of the story.
Yes,
Amen.
we do. Took a shot of Scott every day at 6.
I get it. Dr. Deborah says, I truly believe that my husband, my son, and my aunt made a decision to transition.
Really?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think in those circumstances, it probably was a decision to transition. I actually have to believe that aside from like car accidents and murders and stuff like that, there is at some point a conscious decision that this side is finished and I'm going to move to the next side.
I can go with that, except for when people are battling cancers and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think that those diseases are able to overtake you until you have decided whether it's because of the disease or because you've made your decision to move on, that it can't be taken from you. It's decided. You decided.
That's tough. I remember Stuart Scott, a former ESPN announcer, and he went through cancer and his body changed and everything. He was still public and all that. And he would say stuff like, how you doing, Stuart? People was like pitying him. Like, I'm still winning. I'm still here. Cancer hasn't won yet. But when in his last speech, he was like, you don't beat cancer by being around. You beat cancer by how you live your life.
Absolutely. And then you take it. I mean, that's why we have, even when I have done the breast cancer runs, we run even for those who are on the other side of cancer. Other side, I'm not talking about remission. I'm not talking about you've won it on this side. I'm talking about the ones that have gone over to the other side and are no longer fighting this fight. They're still winning.
Okay.
We've still decided that they've won, and I don't need your test to prove that I won. I'm going, and God bless the rest of y'all, and good night.
Chef Rev said that's real talk. I suspect he's talking about either his comment or Dr. Deborah's comment, that she really believes that it was a decision from her husband, son, and aunt. Wow.
Yeah, these are decisions. I believe that we get to decide. Again, aside from a murder or car accident, something that takes your life from you.
Well, it's 9:40. We need to go ahead and thank you guys. The way we do it here is with our greeting songs and our greeting logos. These go to anyone who's a consistent contributor to the show. Say hi, add to the conversation. We'll develop a song with you if you help us do it. Or someone that's been rocking with us for a while, like Julie Ray Hammondtree. She's a consistent contributor. She even has a jingle that we go with. Her song is Julie Ray Hammondtree. Find out what she means to me. Julie Ray Hammondtree.
We love it. Good morning.
And Melissa Price, I don't have any water in here.
Nope.
So I'm going to give it a shot anyway.
Okay.
I have had a cup of coffee. Bam, 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 bam. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price.
And happy birthday
to you.
Absolutely.
This is Melissa Price's birthday. Give her some birthday love. Reach out to her. All of that stuff.
We love it. We love it. Dr. Deborah, healing and deliverance coach.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah Dunston.
Dr. Deborah was out networking yesterday. I shouted out. I saw her in the pictures with Myra. I was going to say Myra and her hair, but yes.
I got to see these pictures. Where did you see the pictures?
On Facebook, I think.
On Dr. Deborah's page?
Yes, and they looked like they had a great time. I think Lucy was there. A couple of people I knew in the picture. It was exciting to know that they were getting together for a Black Business luncheon.
Wednesday,
Yeah, Black Business Wednesday. And
Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way.
Yes.
Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day.
That's right. Dr. Beverly's here, honey.
Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. How you doing?
Good morning.
Rochelle Gray is here. What we want. Rochelle Gray's got it. What we need. Rose got it. All she's asking is for a little respect. Come on. Respect. Bro, did you see the movie Respect with Jennifer Hudson? I think you'll like it. Chef Rev is here, a.k.a. George Allen, a.k.a. Pastor Allen. But Chef Rev's jam is, why must I eat like that? Why not hire Chef Rev? He puts the good food in me. Nah. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning again. Good morning again. Melissa said, thank you for all my birthday wishes. Somebody tag Mark Greer so I can hear that song too.
That's right.
LOL.
We give no song without people showing up.
That's right. That's right. And I appreciate that. We got a few people that we know are watching the replay because their schedules are different and they need to catch it. And we love you. We love you. We're glad that you do tune in. And I'm glad that you take the time out to hang out and watch us and come and listen to us. If you're listening on one of your podcast channels on Spotify, I believe we have had like 16,000 spins, which is really interesting. I think that's great. And I am just grateful for you all and your support.
Speaking of podcasts, today at 11:30 a.m., I'm going to be interviewed on the Awesomeness in Action podcast. Miss Roshana Price. Miss Roshana Price is a client of mine, I think 2 years ago. But she's gone on and done amazing things. She has, you've seen her testimonial video on here before. But she has a really popular podcast, and it's going to be simulcast on LinkedIn and other places. So that's today at 11:30, and I'm excited about that. No, 11:30 today. And tomorrow, I'm going to leave the show probably about 5 minutes early tomorrow, because tomorrow at 10 a.m., I am going to be interviewed on the Sales Pro Network.
I think I might have a co-host tomorrow. Just for the second half to give you a chance to be able to transition for yourself for the last couple of minutes. So I think I'm going to have a co-host for tomorrow. I do have a podcast that I am going to be jumping over on.
Let me finish my thing about Sales Pro Network first. But I'm going to be interviewed there, and I've been posting on their pages. And I'm really, really excited about that one, the Sales Pro Network, showcasing my stuff. They asked me to submit to them 5 questions that help me look like a rock star, and I did that this morning. So I'm looking forward to that. But go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this morning. I am on the Sprouting Healthy Families podcast this morning with Rebecca, and I'm looking forward to having that conversation. And I also submitted my topic suggestions for the podcast. One of the reasons why I decide to do what I do as I help people to publish and promote their stories using and leveraging the skills, gifts, and talents that God has given to me. Incidentally, yesterday we were talking about He's Always Higher Than Me, which is my children's book. And I actually created the storyboard for it. Yes, she did.
Showed it off to me.
Absolutely. So it's just a matter now of the manuscript is done. The storyboard is completed. And I've got some other projects that I'm working interspersed with it. But as the muse comes, the illustrations will be revealed.
That's the big thing right there. We got to do it when the muse comes. That's what's probably held up 932. I will say this too. The 2 podcasts I just mentioned, one I'm going to be interviewing on today and one tomorrow. They're very different in their approaches. Like the Awesomeness in Action, she does not want questions from me. Okay, she wants her listeners to have a couch-like experience. Couch-like experience, learning who I am and why I do what I do and what motivates me, that kind of thing. A couch-like conversation experience is what she's going for. And the other one is much more formal. Good morning, Mr. William Brown. How you doing, man?
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And
today is Melissa's birthday, Bill.
And he says, happy today, fam. I'm sure Bill knows today is Melissa's birthday. We got to sing Bill's song.
I'm going to. Good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Good morning to our friend Bill. Lisa and I just mentioned a couple of podcasts that we both are on. If you're a thought leader, if you're a published author, and a lot of you guys here you have originated thoughts or an idea about something. Mark, man, it's a good thing that you're here. But I'm saying before I go to Mark, there are podcasts that are really looking for you to be interviewed on their show. Podcasts are low-hanging fruit. Let them build the audience. You come on as a subject matter expert, and you build your database, and you get more clients. Every time you speak somewhere else, you can get a client. Mark Greer, Melissa Price requested somebody to tag you because today's her birthday, Mark. And if you weren't here, she wouldn't get a chance to hear your jam on her birthday. And she wants to hear your jam on her birthday. So why you can't get around it?
so low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove, getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. Now, that was Mark Greer's jam, but I think it was for Melissa today.
That's right. Melissa said, I need Mark's jam for my birthday.
Singing it all day. Look at that, Mark. She needed your jam for her birthday.
So Mark says, happy birthday, Melissa. Absolutely.
That's so funny. Oh, man. And we, days matter. Oh, my gosh. I had to tell someone else that yesterday, but I was fussing at them. Every days matter. I don't have days for you to get around the stuff. Okay. I don't have days to wait for you to, I don't know, when the right psychological moment hits you. Days matter. Every single day, man, you got to get stuff done when you got to get stuff done. That's that. Okay. Days matter.
They do. And we get to use our days to help us to bring forth our decision.
Mm-hmm.
Our decision. And today's decision, the certain decision, I have a decided heart.
Yes. That's
number 4.
We're going to keep going through all 7 decisions from the book, The Traveler's Gift. But number 4 is a decided heart. You're not shook by that no more. You decided that, and that's that.
That's right. Phyllis says, happy another year around the sun, Melissa.
Oh, we got time for that.
Beverly says, Melissa Price is under a Mark Greer groove. She's getting down just because it's her birthday. I know that's
Melissa
right.
Price, up to this point in your life, what has life taught you? This is your birthday, and this is the appropriate question on your birthday. What have you learned so far? What has life taught you so far, Melissa? If you have time to share, what has life taught you up to this point in your life?
What has life taught you, and what have you decided?
Ooh, that's a good one too. I think about Melissa. I think about an artist and creative being and a soul, all heart, all soul, all heart. If you're around Melissa, oh my gosh, the first time she gifted Lisa and I with our what do we call it, dream rectangle?
The spirit rectangle.
The spirit rectangle. When we went to her home to pick it up, boy, you saw a heart from that woman that day. She was so happy and excited to share that with us. Brittany Thomas made it in the house.
Hey, Brittany, it's Brittany, it's Brittany. It's Brittany Thomas. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Brittany.
It's your
time. It's your time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm hoping you entrepreneurs, and I'm hoping you folks have a great day ahead of you. Do you have anything on your calendar today to look forward to? Having something to look forward to, I think, matters so much. I do. And as a matter of fact, I would love if you're interested in hanging out with some awesome entrepreneurs from all over the globe this evening at 6 p.m. and you have a business or service that can support clientele either in the U.S. or abroad, then I would invite you to inbox me and join me today at 6 p.m. for a global entrepreneurial experience. Melissa says, I've learned life is too short not to be loved, not lived, loved. I've learned to appreciate and embrace all my seasons, even the dark ones. Each one makes me a better me, and I won't quit quitting. I won't quit quitting. And I won't quit quitting. And I won't quit quitting. I need you to help me to understand that I won't quit quitting. Do you quit quitting? You won't quit quitting. Unless that's a double negative. I will not quit quitting. I will quit quitting. I don't know. Help me read that last statement. You got 2 minutes to get it in. Please. Absolutely.
But it is a great day. I have some great things. I have today, I have board of directors meeting for Home for Me. You guys, the National Family Empowerment Conference and Expo is coming up. I want to make sure that you guys have September 24th penciled in on your calendar. And then I also have 2 podcasts today, and I have an opportunity to connect with a amazing author in the UK.
That's amazing. For those of you who have friends that are in the financial services or insurance industries, next week, Wednesday, I'm giving a public workshop for insurance and financial services professionals only. The onlys that we've done so far have been amazing. People have found a lot of blessings in them.
I thought it was a typo, but I didn't want to speak for you. She says, and I won't quit. Keeping on.
That's
Amen.
Right. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
Who's that? His grandmother says, "Are you yet holding on?"
Yes.
Yes, Grandma. Well, you keep on keeping on.
It's the it's the song he sings. He actually sings a song, and that's in part of his song. Where
I know exactly. It's a song. Mm-hmm. Are you yet holding on? Yes, Grandma.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
The grandma that gave you a piece of candy.
Phyllis George says, "I called you, so call me, please." Who's she talking about? Melissa?
I can't tell who you're talking to, Miss.
She's probably talking Melissa because it's her birthday.
Maybe. But she might be here.
Oh, that's right. She might be in our hood.
Yeah. So I don't know. Text me if that. She said, "Do you guys want the donuts?" Oh, that's right. She found Cousins Dozens.
Yes, she sent me the picture. Heck yeah, we want Cousins Dozens. Yes, what we gotta do? Yes, there's nothing like Cousins Dozens. It's an experience.
Absolutely.
There are mini donuts. They make them right there in front of you. They got a really cool machine that he's really, really proud of. The owner of the company's name is Todd Jones. He's hired me on 2 separate occasions. Matter of fact, because of Todd Jones, I was able to afford to go to New Orleans one time. Our money was low. I was thinking I couldn't afford it. And Todd Jones hired me at the last moment, and I was able to pay for everything. Great.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let us know where you leave us and bring our donuts. And we hope that you guys remember to have a decided heart for the certain decision. We'll see you tomorrow with decision number 5.
God bless you guys. We love you so much.
Don't forget that.